The Princess Bride is a story about storytelling, and our director Rob Reiner used a specific filmmaking technique to draw attention to that. We're talking all about it this week in Kaden's Movie Club. Spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen it, beat it. What are you doing? The Princess Bride was adapted from the book by William Goldman, but Rob Reiner wasn't the first person to try and adapt it. A number of filmmakers had attempted to make the movie before Reiner, including Robert Redford and Francois Truffaut. Even Superman himself, Christopher Reeve, had put himself up for the role of Wesley. None of these versions ever made it to production though, so after Reiner finished up his work on Stand By Me, he decided to try and adapt one of his favorite books. His first smart move for this adaptation was to work very closely with the book's original author, so William Goldman wrote the screenplay adapting his own novel. What's interesting is that both the book and the movie use a framing device to introduce the audience to the story. A framing device is when a story uses another story to give context to its main story. For example, in Forrest Gump, most of what we see in the movie is actually Forrest telling his story to strangers while sitting on a bench at a bus stop. It creates a story within a story, with one story framing the other. In the book, the framing device is that William Goldman isn't actually the author of The Princess Bride. He's writing an abridgment of a much longer, more boring historical novel by someone named S. Morgenstern, which is why the whole title of the book is The Princess Bride, S. Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure, the good parts version, abridged by William Goldman. But S. Morgenstern and his novel don't actually exist, it's all fictional. But we get this hilarious idea that there's some longer work of dense political satire, and William Goldman is cutting all that stuff out just to make it a simple adventure story because that's the story he wants to hear. When it came to the movie, Reiner and Goldman chose a different framing device. The movie opens on a kid who's sick in bed. He's playing video games when his mom comes in to tell him that Grandpa has come to visit. The kid isn't all that happy about it, especially when he finds out that the Grandpa plans to read him a book.
I brought you a special present.
A book?
Now, the first shot of the movie is that retro baseball video game. And it probably feels fun and nostalgic now, but we have to remember when the movie was released in 1987, that was not what the vibe would have been. If we reshot that scene today, I imagine the kid would be in bed scrolling mindlessly on his phone. The scene isn't trying to establish a kid having a fun time, it's trying to establish a kid who occupies his free time with the new and shiny technology of his day. So Grandpa shows up and wants to share a story.
It was the book my father used to read to me when I was sick, and I used to read it to your father. And today, I'm going to read it to you.
He's now trying to pass on a special tradition that connected him with his family. The grandson thinks it's going to be terrible. His grandpa is old, the book is old. It's going to be so boring.
I'll try and stay awake.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very nice. Your vote of confidence is overwhelming. The Princess Bride by S. Morgenstern, Chapter 1.
I think this framing device is more clever than we might realize. If the movie immediately launched into the romance of Wesley and Buttercup, the only tension is their love story.
Farm boy, fill these with water. Please.
As you wish.
That might resonate with some people, but probably not everyone. But before we even get to that plot line, the framing device has established another tension by asking the question, is this a story worth hearing? We're not just waiting to see what will happen to Buttercup, we're waiting to see if the grandson will like the story or not. Which is really asking, will this grandfather be able to connect with his grandson? And as the movie progresses, it keeps giving us other stories within the story to invest in. Let's jump to a scene a bit later in the movie. Buttercup has been kidnapped by Vicini and his two henchmen so he can start a war between two countries. The plan is going perfectly until they realize they're being pursued by a man in black. Vicini tells his master swordsman, Inigo Montoya, to stay behind and take care of the problem. The funny part is that Inigo is too honorable to do this in an unsportsmanlike way, so he actually helps the man in black before challenging him to a respectful duel.
I promise I will not kill you until you reach the top.
That's very comforting.
I swear on the soul of my father, Domingo Montoya, you will reach the top alive.
Throw me the rope. Thank you.
Well, wait until you're ready.
Again, thank you.
It's at this moment that Inigo tells a story. We don't get a flashback or anything, it's all delivered through Inigo's words.
You don't by any chance happen to have 6 fingers on your right hand?
Do you always begin conversations this way?
My father was slaughtered by a 6-fingered man. I dedicated my life to the study of fencing. So the next time we meet, I will go up to the 6-fingered man and say, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
So now we've set up another tension. Maybe the romance didn't pull you in, maybe the kidnapping conspiracy plot didn't pull you in, but now you have a story about a son trying to avenge his father. Even Wesley's story is a story within a story. We find out that the man in black is the dread pirate Roberts, the same pirate that supposedly killed Wesley, Buttercup's long-lost love.
You can die too for all I care.
Oh. As you
What have I done? Ow! Oh!
Oh, oh,
Ow! Ow!
oh, oh, oh,
Oh!
oh.
Ow! Ow! Ouch!
What? Wesley is the Dread Pirate Roberts? How can this be?
Well, Roberts had grown so rich, he wanted to retire. So he took me to his cabin, told me his secret. I am not the Dread Pirate Roberts, he said. The real Roberts has been retired 15 years and living like a king in Patagonia. Thank you. Then he explained that the name was the important thing for inspiring the necessary fear. You see, no one would surrender to the Dread Pirate Wesley.
So even the way in which Wesley and Buttercup are reunited is about the power of a story. That the Dread Pirate Roberts legend is so powerful it has been passed down through multiple successors. Let's jump to another scene later on when Wesley dies. Well, mostly dies. He's captured by the villain, Prince Humperdinck, who sends him off to the Pit of Despair where the life is literally sucked out of his body. Inigo and Fezzik take Wesley to the healer, Miracle Max. But this guy doesn't work for free, so what will convince him to help save Wesley?
Hey, what's so important? What you got here that's worth living for?
True love. True love, you heard him? You could not ask for a more noble cause than that.
It's funny to me that what motivates Max is essentially whether or not Wesley's story is worth continuing. If he brings Wesley back to life, will the story be worth telling? Is it that Inigo will be able to enter the castle and get justice for his father? No. Is it the fact that Wesley and Buttercup are an example of true love? No. Is it the fact that Humperdinck might get his comeuppance? Yes.
If you heal him, he will stop Humperdinck's wedding.
Shut up! Wait. I make him bear the Humperdinck suffers?
Humiliations galore.
I did a lick all day nation. That is a noble cause. Give me the 65. I'm on the job.
Max used to work for Humperdinck, and when he finds out that by helping Wesley, Humperdinck will be humiliated, he agrees to help because that is the story that inspires him. And the movie makes sure to deliver on all the stories it has set up. Humperdinck is indeed humiliated.
Drop your sword.
Have a seat.
The power of Inigo Montoya's story is what allows him to achieve his goal.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Stop saying that! Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die! Now!
And of course, Wesley and Buttercup are united in true love.
And as they reach for each other,
What? What?
now it's kissing again. You don't want to hear that.
I don't mind so much.
Okay. Since the invention of the kiss, there have been 5 kisses that were rated the most passionate, the most pure. This one left them all behind.
And that final scene not only concludes the love story, but reminds us of our bigger question as we come back to the framing device. Is this a story worth telling? Throughout the movie, we've been reminded of this. The grandson has slowly become more and more invested in the story. The Princess Bride is not a complex or dense movie. It's extremely effective as a self-aware comedic adventure story. And the whole point is that it really doesn't need to be more than that, because the most important part lies in a very simple moment.
Grandpa? Maybe you could come over and read it again to me tomorrow.
As you wish.
The grandpa and the grandson started in a place where they didn't really understand each other, but they've now found a way to connect, and it's nothing more than a good story. They don't suddenly have the best relationship in the world, but it opens that door. At their core, that's what stories do. They allow us to connect with each other. And I think Rob Reiner was fully aware of that because he frames this movie in a way that reminds us why we need to keep telling stories to each other. And next week, we'll be looking at how Rob Reiner tells an entirely different kind of story. One that uses a conflict between the US military and the justice system to deal with questions about what it means to be a good person. A Few Good Men follows the story of Lieutenant Daniel Coffey, a lawyer who was hired to defend 2 Marines who appeared to be responsible for the murder of another Marine. Coffey has a reputation for quickly resolving his cases with plea bargains. He expects that the reason he is chosen for this case is to do the same thing here. But things change when his superior officer and fellow attorney, Commander Galloway, suspects that there may be more to the story than they realize. So here's some questions to keep in mind while you watch. The title, A Few Good Men, was pulled from a slogan that was used to recruit Marines. The Marines are looking for a few good men. How do you think this story recharacterizes that phrase? What do you think of the social commentary in this movie? Do you feel it's more or less relevant now than it was when the movie was released in 1992? How do you feel about the story's resolution? What aspects of filmmaking does Rob Reiner use to deliver that ending? So let's chat about The Princess Bride in the comments, and I'll see you back here next Sunday to discuss A Few Good Men. And if you want to stay in the know about Movie Club, you know where to go. Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, you're saying coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. That just sounds like I'm saying it with a New York accent. Coffee.
Say coffee.
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 It's not that. It's coffee.
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 There's no difference. There's no middle ground between coffee and coffee. It's either or. Ah. Okay, all right. Let's go. Coffee has a reputation for...
not
Shannon, it's the
coffee.
same thing. You're not saying anything different. Ah.